Well, hello there, fancy seeing you here. So today is, I think it's day 4. I'm going to put it on the screen, but everything's just gone out of my mind. So we've had 2 rest days on this because the start of the week is always the heaviest leg day for me. I then take 2 days to recover from that. We go in with our third one, which is slightly lighter, or should I say like slightly less taxing on the body. We then have 1 rest day, and then we'll go in with our third leg day before we have another break. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, everyone, you know the drill by now. We've got to get toasty and warm before we get into the main workout because we don't want to be getting injured. Trust me, I was literally just out with an injury for 6 months. It really took everything from me, so just make sure that you're prioritizing your warm-ups and your cool-downs. Like I said in my previous videos, I prioritize hip mobility over anything else because I have really stiff and tight hips. So make sure you're prioritizing whatever you feel doesn't feel particularly great when you're moving. It might be your ankles, it might be your knees, and just put some more emphasis on that. Okay, so the first exercise we've got is calves hip thrust. Now this is basically where you come halfway down. You basically stop just when the knee is starting to come towards you. I'm just doing a warm-up set here just to get used to the movement pattern and make sure my glutes are engaging properly, and then we're going to go in with our working set. The reason I do calves hip thrust is I find that when I come all the way down to the bottom and then I push up again, I do recruit a lot of the quads. So it's good to keep that mind to muscle connection for me, only coming down halfway, because that means I'm getting the most out of the glutes and I'm not feeling my quads at all. The best cue still to this day for me for RDLs is to imagine closing a door behind you with your glutes. So you want to be coming back and back and back and getting that stretch as much as possible to close the door. Or I also like to think of it as an upright hip thrust. You're getting that hip hinge, but you're just in a standing position rather than a sat position. Up next, we have glute bias leg press. So again, I like to do a wider stance, point the feet out, and I put my feet slightly further up on the platform. Of course, with any style of leg press, you're still going to have some engagement and usage of the quads and the hamstrings. That is just completely normal. You're never going to be able to bias out all of the other muscle groups, but of course, we just want to be making the most of the movement as much as possible and doing small things to go towards emphasizing the glutes rather than the quads. The next exercise we're going in with is standing hamstring curls. You may notice I've got standing and seated hamstring curls in the program, generally because the hamstrings are made up of 3 different muscles. The standing hamstring curl machine will emphasize a slightly different area more so of the hamstrings than the seated, and the seated vice versa. However, there have been a lot of studies coming out recently that the seated hamstring curl machine is superior to the lying hamstring curl machine or the standing hamstring curl machine. So I've got both in the program just to make sure that we're emphasizing that area as much as possible. The last exercise that we've got is the glute medius kickback. Now these vary a little bit from the glute max kickback. So with a glute max kickback, you're coming straight back behind you, the leg is slightly bent, and you're getting a lot of recruitment in the glute max. The glute medius, you're going to be pointing your working foot out slightly to the side as you come back, and you'll notice a lot of recruitment in the upper part of the glute instead, which is where the glute medius sits. And the last thing that we're doing is absolutely not forgetting our cool down and not skipping it, okay? I'm watching you. I'm making sure you're doing it, okay? Because not only is it beneficial in terms of recovery and preventing injury, but it's also super beneficial at the moment because you are your most warm and mobile right now after training. And as I've said before, with the calisthenics side of things, I cannot stress to you enough how you need to be super stretchy and nimble. So just make sure you're not skipping your cool down, and I'll see you guys in the next video.